Okay, so hello everyone. Today we'll be continuing with our revision. Last time, in the previous meeting, we stopped on the third part of a paragraph, which is the concluding sentences, or the concluding sentence, which is the last sentence in a paragraph, okay? Okay, concluding sentence. It is the last sentence in a paragraph. It closes the paragraph, so the reader won't be expecting anything left, okay? So whenever you read the concluding sentence, when the reader reads the concluding sentence, he won't be expecting anything else. All right. So the concluding sentence, it ends the paragraph. So the reader won't be expecting anything, any new topic or any new idea. We'll be analyzing more paragraphs and we'll see how the topic sentence work. Okay. About the topic sentence, it has two shapes. It can remind the reader of the main point by restating the topic sentence in a different words. Okay, we took previously the topic sentence and we said that it gives an orientation or a hint for the reader about the paragraph topic or the paragraph subject. The concluding sentence can rewrite, okay? So you can paraphrase the concluding sentence by referring to the topic sentence. But you have to restate it in a different way, not just copy and paste it. You have to restate it in your own way. Or the second shape, you can just summarize the main points from the supporting sentences. We discussed that the topic sentence gives an hint, and the concluding sentences, they discuss the main points. So the supporting sentences, they discuss the main point. So in the concluding sentence, you bring these main points, okay, and you put them in a sentence, which is called the concluding sentence at the end of the paragraph. These are the two shapes. Right now, we'll be seeing more paragraphs, okay, and we'll be discussing the two shapes explicitly. Okay, do you remember the paragraph of the traits of a good friend that we wrote it before? A good friend has three traits. First, he has to be helpful. Second, he has to be honest. Third, or finally, he ought to be generous. We left it, okay? We left it in the previous lecture, and we said that in the next meeting, we'll be putting a concluding sentence. Okay, let's practice the two shapes. First, we said that that concluding sentence can remind the reader of the main points by restating the topic sentence in a different words. For instance, indeed, a good trait friend is always needed in lifetime. Or in short, choose your friends carefully so they be good friends with good traits. So here, right, we can see, guys, can just turn off your cameras. Okay, the first, we can see that the two sentences, they just restate, okay, the topic sentence. They also talk about good trait friends and also talk about friends. The second shape, which is, or it can just summarize the main points from the supporting sentences. We said that a good friend must be helpful. Second, he has to be honest. Finally, he ought to be generous. Okay, so we bring these points and put them in a sentence, such as the following. We can say, a good friend must be honest, helpful, and generous. Just put them as they are. Or you can bring the synonyms, definitions, or negative antonyms, etc. But the main point, you have to deliver the same meaning. So you can say, to sum up, being a good friend means that you are truthful, which is the same meaning as honest, or supportive, which is the same meaning as helpful, and not selfish. Not selfish means generous. Okay, so these are the two shapes of the concluding sentence. It can restate. These are the two shapes of a concluding sentence. It can either restate the topic sentence or it can summarize the main points. So in the concluding sentence, as we discussed, you can either restate or summarize. So don't introduce a new idea, topic, or give your opinion, because as we said, the concluding sentence, it tells the reader that this is the end of the paragraph. So he won't be expecting anything else. He won't be expecting a new topic or a new idea. So don't put a new idea or a new topic or even give your opinion in the concluding sentence. As we can see here, these are false concluding sentences. In brief, a good friend has to love sports. Okay, in the previous paragraph, we talked about friends and we talked about traits. Here, it tells you that he has to love sports, but sports doesn't have anything to do with traits. Isn't that right? So here we are introducing a new idea or a new topic, which is absolutely wrong. You cannot put that in the concluding sentence. The next sentence, which is also false, to summarize, good friends are expected to be tall enough. Okay, here you are giving your opinion. You're saying that for me, good friends expected to be tall enough. Okay, just don't give your opinion. Just stick with the paragraph, the unity of the paragraph, as we discussed it before, that the paragraph must have a thing that is called unity of the paragraph, that the whole paragraph must be about only one idea. You cannot go out of your point. Okay, as we mentioned before, that the topic sentence has some transition signals, such as first, second, first of all, and third, finally, also, and these transition signals. Also, the concluding sentence can, they all also have some transition signals. So they hint the reader that here you are reading that concluding sentence. These transition signals are really easy to memorize, to conclude, or in conclude, to summarize, or in summary, to sum up, in brief, in short, indeed. These all are transition signals to tell the reader that right now I'm writing my concluding sentence. Okay, right now we'll be reading more paragraphs. Right now, let's finish our paragraph, a good friend, by putting a concluding sentence at the end. Okay, a good friend, this is the topic. Okay, we made some indent here. Then we wrote our topic sentence. A good friend has 3 traits. First, he has to be helpful. Then we proved it. Then we moved to the second point, which is second, he has to be honest. Then we proved it and put some examples. Then finally, we moved up to the third trait, which is generous. Then, etc. We proved it. After that, we moved to the concluding sentence, which, as we just wrote it, to conclude, a good friend must be honest, helpful, and generous. Okay, as we can see, the pattern here of this concluding sentence, that it just summarizes the main points: honest, helpful, and generous. That is a complete academic paragraph. As you can see, you got a topic sentence, controlling ideas. Then you discuss every point explicitly, separately from the other point, until we reach the end of the paragraph and you put a concluding sentence, which has the pattern of summarizing the main points. Third part, which is sentence structure. Here we'll be talking about grammar. In chapter 1, we discussed simple sentences. For those who were with us in the meetings of chapter 1, we discussed one type of sentences, which is called simple sentences. However, now we will discuss them again, but in their new look. What do I mean by their new look? Okay, we have another type of sentences, which is called compound sentences. What is a compound sentence? A compound sentence or compound sentences, they are two, okay? They are two simple sentences connected by a comma and a coordinating conjunction. So we have a form which we have one simple sentence and another simple sentence. Between them, we have a comma and a coordinating conjunction. What do we mean by coordinating conjunctions? We'll see this right now. Coordinating conjunctions are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. They can be put in this initialism, okay, اختصار, with their initial letters. By memorizing them, will be more easy. Fanboys, which is the first letter of every word or every coordinating conjunction. Anyhow, in this book, we'll only study just four, which are and, or, so, and but. So don't confuse yourself. We'll only be focusing on four of them. Okay, here are some examples about compound sentences. Okay, let's analyze each sentence alone. My family go camping every summer, and they usually have fun, okay? Last year, we went camping, comma, but we had a terrible time. Okay, referring to the first sentence, my family go camping every summer. Here, we have subject, which is my family. We have a verb, which is go camping, and the complement of the sentence. Then we have a comma. Okay, so obviously the first sentence is a simple sentence. My family, subject, go camping is a verb, and every summer it is the complement. So here we have a simple sentence. After that, we have a comma. After the comma, we have a coordinated conjunction, which is and. After and, we'll continue reading. They usually have fun. Okay, here is another simple sentence. How did we know that it is a simple sentence? We have a subject, which is they, and we have a verb, which is have. So in the first sentence, we have two simple sentences are connected using a comma and a coordinated conjunction, which is and. The second sentence says, last year we went camping, comma, but we had terrible time. So also analyzing this sentence, last year we, this is the subject, went, okay, this is the verb. Camping is a gerund, so we don't consider it as a verb. So obviously here we have a subject and a verb. Then we have a comma and a coordinated conjunction again, which is but. Then we move to another sentence, which says, we had terrible time. We is a subject and had is a verb. So also this is another compound sentence, contains two simple sentences connected by a comma and a coordinated conjunction. The third sentence, which is next year we'll go to the beach, comma, or we will stay at home. We is a subject, will go, this is the verb. Then in another sentence, we is also the subject, will stay is the verb. So we have two simple sentences that are connected with one comma and a coordinated conjunction. The whole sentence, these two simple sentences that are connected, we call it a compound sentence. So a compound sentence is just another form, okay, of two simple sentences connected by a comma or and a coordinated conjunction, okay? Okay, this is easy. Command sentences can also be compound sentences, but remember to omit the subject. We don't say you come visit us again soon, comma, and you bring your family. We delete the subject, which is you, because it is a compound sentence, okay? And this is, I mean, like, it is easy. It doesn't have don't have any explanations. Just omit the subject you, and you will have a complete compound sentence. Okay, note well, don't confuse between the compound sentence, okay, and the simple sentence that has a compound verb. Also, the people who were with us and in chapter 1, we discussed this just in a short time. We gave two examples and we said that this is a compound sentence and this is a simple sentence. Because the fact that we have some sentences, okay, that have one subject, but they have one verb that contains two pair verbs. Let's read the examples. Compound sentences are simply two simple sentences connected by a coordinated conjunction. We just read that. It is really easy. I study every night, comma, but I don't accomplish a lot. I is the first subject. Study is the first verb. Then I move on until I reach the comma. After that, I have a coordinated conjunction. Then I have I, which is another subject, okay? Don't accomplish a lot. And we have accomplish or don't accomplish. It is one verb. So here we have two subjects and we have two verbs. The first subject, which is I, he doesn't study. He studies every night. The second subject, which is also I, he doesn't accomplish a lot. So we have two subjects and two verbs. Every subject is connected with a verb. However, in the simple sentence, it is different. In the simple sentence with a compound verb, okay, is just one complete sentence that has two verbs. How comes that? Let's read the example. I study every night and don't accomplish a lot. Here, we don't have two subjects, okay? We only have one subject, but we have two verb pair. That means that one subject does the two verbs and the two verbs are connected, okay, together. They are called pair verb. We discussed this more obviously explicitly in chapter 1. If you are confused, you can watch the lectures. The two lectures in chapter 1, okay, they are more explained. Okay, here are other examples. Notice the differences. Other examples of how simple sentences are different from compound sentences. Okay, the first example, let's read the first example and then the second example. A simple sentence with a compound verb. My family goes camping every summer and usually has fun. Okay, this is a simple sentence with a compound verb. We note that there is only one subject, which is my family. And we have two verbs, which is goes, which are goes and has. My family goes camping every summer. Then we have and, okay, and usually has fun. So we have one subject that does the two verbs, the two verb pair. Okay. The second example, which is compound sentence. My family goes camping every summer, comma, and we usually have fun. So we have here two subjects. My family, they go. Then we have another subject, which is we, which connects with the verb have. So we have two subjects. Each subject have a verb. It is totally different from the form or the structure above, which means that every subject, which means that one subject has two verbs. Now here we have two subjects and every subject is connected with a verb. The next example, last year we went camping but had a terrible time. Okay, last year we went camping but had a terrible time. We is one subject, okay? There is no other subject except we. Then we have went and had. Went and had are connected only with the subject we. So we have only one subject and a verb pair. The next example, which is a compound sentence, it says, last year we went camping, but everyone had a terrible time. So here we have two subjects and two verbs. every subject is connected with a verb. I know it can sound confusing, but don't focus at the meaning, okay, right now. And meanwhile, don't focus at the meaning. Focus on the structure only. That we have one subject. This one subject is connected with two verbs. In this case, we are having a simple sentence. If there are two subjects and every subject has one verb, or maybe one subject can have two verb pair, okay, this is more complicated. This means that we are having a compound sentence. So don't focus on the meaning, but focus rather on the structure. Okay. And has two cases, and I think or also, because in chapter 1, we said that and can connect simple sentences and also or can connect simple sentences. But as we just saw, and also comes in the compound sentences. So how we can differentiate between the both, between and in the simple sentence and in the compound sentence? Well, it is really easy. And in compounding sentences, they connect two simple sentences with similar ideas, whether they were negative or they were positive, because of the fact that in simple sentences, we said that and connects two ideas in one simple sentence, and these ideas must be positive ideas only. Okay, so in simple sentences, and connects two ideas, but these ideas must be in the positive form. But in compounding sentences, and connects two simple sentences, not just two ideas. It connects two simple ideas. It connects two simple sentences. Each sentence, we don't care about if it was positive idea or negative idea. What do I mean by positive idea or negative? Okay, let's see the examples. Examples about and compounding sentences. The first example, my friend is a teacher and Muhammad's friend is a doctor. Okay, so my friend is a teacher. Here we have my friend, which is a subject, and we have is, which is a verb. Then we have a comma, and we have and. Then we says Muhammad's friend, a friend here is subject, is a doctor. So obviously, we have two verbs and we have two subjects. Moving to the next example, I don't like cheese, and my friend doesn't like mango. Okay, notes in this example, okay, that the two sentences are in the negative form. I don't like cheese, this is negative, comma, and my friend doesn't like mango. Also, the second sentence is also in the negative form. Okay, this in compound sentence, that this and the compounding, the coordinated conjunction, it connects two simple sentences, and they don't care, okay? We don't care about if the idea was positive or the idea was negative. But this is really different in simple sentences. Simple sentences and only connects two ideas, not simple sentences, because it is actual simple sentence. It only connects two ideas in a positive way. My friend is a teacher and a father. When I say a positive way, I don't mean that it is not negative. I mean it is in the affirmative form, that we don't have any negative form. Don't, not, and such these things. And also never, okay? So we don't have any word that refers to the negative. My friend is a teacher and a father. As we can see, this sentence is in the affirmative form. The second sentence, I love chicken and pizza. Okay, they both are in that positive form. But you must note that we don't put a comma after and in the simple sentence. Okay, this is really important in punctuation because it is really important. In compound sentences, and, or, they must have a comma before them. This is in compound sentences. But however, In simple sentences, and or, they don't have a comma before them. We'll be talking about this more right now when we discuss or. Okay, such as and, or in compounding sentences, it just connects two simple sentences. Also, don't forget that it connects two simple sentences with alternative or choices. Okay. So the example first, for example, the first example, they will go to the beach or they will go to the party. Okay. So these choices or alternative are not in a negative way. They are only affirmative, the affirmative form. They will, okay, we have they, which is one subject, and we have will go, which is one verb. Then we have a comma and or they will go to the party. So you have two choices. They can go either to the beach or they can go to the party. So we have two choices, but these choices are not in the negative form. Why I'm saying this? Why I'm saying that they are not in the negative form? Because in simple sentences, you can, as you can see, or in simple sentences connects two ideas in one simple sentence. Negative ideas only. You must focus on this. That or in simple sentences, it connects negative ideas only. For instance, I can't eat or drink. They don't like soap or vegetables. Maybe you can think that in these examples, you have two choices. You can't eat and you can't drink. Okay, these also are choices if you think they are, but note that they are in the negative form because we have can't. Okay, this is a negative form. But however, in compounding sentences, it connects two simple sentences. Each simple sentence is not in the negative form. Okay. Or maybe it can be in a negative form, but focus that in each sentence must have a subject and it must have a verb. The second sentence, it also must have a subject and it also must have a verb. But in a simple sentence, we only have one subject and one verb, and this verb can be a verb pair, which is referring to the same subject. So focus on the structure more than the meaning. Okay. Revise this slide because or and are a little bit confusing when you use them in compound sentences or when you use them in simple sentences. And focus on the commas, okay? Because we don't put a comma after or in the simple sentence, okay? And also this is also connected with and. We don't put a comma. Okay, there's a mistake here. We don't put a comma before or, not after. Anyhow, right now we will be talking about but and so. Okay, but it connects two simple sentences with contrast ideas or opposites. It is really easy when we have two, like we have two antonyms or one word that is antonym for another word or one something that it is opposite for another something. For instance, he loves mango juice, but he hates mango. Okay. I wrote this sentence referring to me because I love mango juice, but I don't love eating mango. So I have two things that are opposites or contrast ideas. I love mango, but I love mango juice, but I don't love mango. The second sentence, the second example, they wanted to leave now, but they can't find their car keys. Okay, this is a contrast ideas because they want to leave, but they can't find their car keys. By practicing, this will become more easier. And so it connects two simple sentences, one as a reason and the other as a result. So in so, we have a reason and we have a result. Each one forms a simple sentence. So we have a simple sentence that represents the reason, and we have another simple sentence that represents the result. When we want to connect, okay, when we want to connect the reason with the result, okay, we put so, and a comma before it. What's the difference between yet and but in the meaning? Okay, I think yet comes at the end of the sentence, and it must come in a negative form. I didn't put my shoes yet. Okay, yet it must come in a negative form, but it doesn't like it is not connected with any negative. But yet, as far as I remember, must come in a negative sentence that contains never or contains any negative form, like cannot or must not. Anyway, negative form. So yet comes in a negative, and it comes at the end. And I think it can come at the beginning. But the thing that you must know that it comes with negative. Okay? Okay, as we are talking about compound sentences, let's discuss their errors. We have two errors for compound sentences. The first one, there are two errors that you can make while writing a sentence, especially sentences that contains two halves related in meaning. Okay, when we say a sentence that contains two halves, we mean that they are related in meaning. Okay, focus on this, that these two sentences are related in meaning. We have three kinds of structure for sentences that contains two halves, which are the compound sentences and the complex sentences and the complex compound sentences. But however, right now we'll be discussing the compound sentences. These two errors are run-ons and comma splices. So from reading the label or the name run-ons, we understand that there is something running inside something else, that it doesn't have something to do with it. We have something that runs inside something else, mixed. This is the first error. And right now we'll see that it is really true, that there's a sentence that is running in another sentence without any stopping. Comma splices, as we can understand from the name, that there's a problem with the comma. We are using the comma in a wrong way. Okay, first, run-ons errors. This error occurs when two simple sentences related in meaning, by the way, okay, are joined with no coordinating conjunction and no comma. So we have two simple sentences that are connected with no coordinating conjunction and without even a comma. But these sentences must be related in meaning. They are not any sentences. They must be related in meaning, and they are connected. They are put together without any coordinating conjunction and without any comma. So basically, this type needs three conditions. Related meaning sentences. Okay, we have two simple sentences that are related in meaning. Second, there is no coordinating conjunction. Third, there is no comma. For example, my roommate wants to win the race. He spends hours practicing. If you memorized what we said previously, you can find the error right by just looking. My roommate wants to win the race. He spends hours practicing. So where is the wrong? Where is the error? We have my roommate, which is the subject, and we have wants, which is the verb, to win the race. Then we have another new subject, which is he, and we have another new verb, which is spends. So obviously here we have a run-on error, okay? Because we have one sentence that is running into the other sentence, in the second sentence. My roommate wants to win the race. He spends hours practicing. So it is definitely wrong. Anyhow, what's right? Well, you have two options. In fixing run-ons errors, you have two options. You can either end the first sentence and capitalize the first letter in the second sentence by saying my roommate wants to win the race, period. Then you capitalize H in he spends hours practicing, and you put another period. This is really right, but I don't prefer it because the two sentences, as we said, they must be related in meaning, and when you cut them off, you cut also the relation between the two meanings. Or you can say the second option, which is more obvious or more clear and makes more sense. My roommate wants to win the race, comma, so he spends hours practicing. Okay, here, as we just said, we have reason, okay, and we have a result. My roommate wants to win the race. This is the result, and this is the result. Okay, my roommate wants to win the race. He spends hours practicing. What do we call the second part? Okay, the reason. So what is the reason after my roommate is practicing? Because there is a result, which is winning the race. Because of this, we use so. And this makes more sense than cutting off the sentence and putting a period than capitalizing. Okay, this is about running on errors. We said that there must be a relation in meaning, related meaning sentences. We don't put a coordinated conjunction, and we don't put a comma. We just mix the two sentences without any organization. The comma supplies is more easier, and we're going to take the comma supplies and end. This error occupies place when there is related meaning in two sentences, okay? And there is a comma, but however, there is no coordinated conjunction. So it is a little bit similar to run-on sentences, but here we don't have a coordinated conjunction. So we have related meaning sentences. We have a comma, but we don't have a coordinated conjunction. For example, this is the previous example, the same. My roommate wants to win the race, comma, he spends hours practicing. So we put comma, but without any coordinated conjunction. And this is called comma supplies because we are using the comma in the wrong way. Anyhow, what's right? Well, you also have two options. The first option that we just mentioned, which you can cut off the sentence, putting a period, removing the comma, putting a period, and capitalizing the next letter, which I don't prefer actually, but it is right. The second option, you can keep the comma and put a coordinated conjunction, and it will become a good sentence, a good compound sentence by putting a comma and a coordinated conjunction. The problem of the errors is that they break the rule of the compounding sentence. We said the compounding sentence are two related ideas. They must have these two related ideas, okay? These two related ideas must be two simple sentences, and they are connected by a comma and a coordinated conjunction. So whenever you remove one thing from these three conditions, okay, you are breaking the rules of compound sentences. Then as a consequence, you are making an error, which can be comma supplies or run-on sentences. Okay, I think we'll be finishing chapter 2. Right now we have a practice if you want to do it, of course, and take benefits, advantages. Here are some groups that comprises a number of sentences. Try to combine them correctly. Follow these steps. Okay, we have a groups. Each group comprises a number of sentences. You have to combine these sentences in each group to form one sentence. Some will be simple and others will be compound. So there is more than one correct way. So you have groups. Each group contains more than one sentence. You must combine these sentences to form either a simple sentence or a compound sentence. After you do the process of combining, write all the sentences as a paragraph. Don't forget to add listing order transition signals to the main points, and don't forget to add I think the topic is ready and the topic sentence is also ready with the concluding sentence. So you only have to make supporting sentences. Hence, there are three main points. I'm telling you that there are three main points, so you don't mix up with listing order transition signals. So you only have to use three listing order transition signals. If you remember what we took at the first of the chapter, at the beginning of the chapter. Okay, these are the sentences. This is the first group. Okay, the first number is the topic sentence. This is the topic sentence, so don't change it. The weaker gender, this is the title. Don't change it also. You start with the second group, which is women live longer than men, women stay healthier than men. They do this in all countries of the world, okay? So you must combine these sentences. You can either form a simple sentence or a compound sentence, okay? It depends on you. Then you have the third group, the fourth, the fifth. Okay, the fifth, there is instruction here says that you must use but. Between these two sentences, there are 105 boys to every 100 girls at birth, period. There are twice as many women as men at age 80. You have to use but. Then you have group 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, at the group 6, you also have instruction, change these things to that, which is obvious. The group 10, which is the concluding sentence, don't change it. And this is the end of chapter 2. Okay, I hope it's all clear. You can drop your questions if you have any questions on the Telegram group or in the Facebook comments. And it'll be really a pleasure to answer them. And I hope you have a nice day. Okay, good luck, everyone.